So I received a revelation regarding the merger of my friend's house of Highland Park and the Highland Park Foursquare Church. And having shared that with Mike and Lori and my wife, we felt that was really the way forward. And we made appointments to see the denominational leadership. And so Mike talked to his denominational leadership, and I got to just say I was surprised and delighted, but I mean, probably not. He was a man of God, so I shouldn't have been surprised. But still, I was delighted, really, that he said, Mike, go forward to this. Just really be the Lord. Just go forward and see how it goes. See how the direction happens, because you got to have the other, the district supervisor in Foursquare has to say, yeah, we can take this on. So Mike and I made an appointment to see Dr. Jones. He was at a summer camp up at Cedar Crest up in the mountains. So Mike and I drove up together, having made the appointment to see him. We sat down at this picnic table, and Mike and I on one side and Dr. Jones on the other. And listen, I've known Dr. Jones. I've known him since I was a child, really. And when he came, actually, after we had already left Denver for California, he came to pastor the Foursquare Church in Denver that one of my grandfather and his friends had built. And he actually kind of traded churches where Gerald and Pauline Staley, who were my pastors in Denver and the man who led me to Christ, he went to Santa Barbara, and then Dr. Jones came from Santa Barbara to Denver. And he actually officiated for the memorial services for my mom's parents, her mom and dad. And so we had those kind of connections, and we talked about that at convention, and tell me how much he really loved my grandparents and all of that. And so I knew Dr. Jones, and so there was a relationship, and I knew that I knew he was a spiritual man too. And so we sat there, and I presented it to him, and then Mike joined in, and he said, "There's no way I could have seen that coming, Jim. Really? I mean, just wow." He said, "Yes, if you think this is the Lord, then let's go forward. What might the next steps be?" And so I said, "Well, we want to meet together. I planned out, we're going to have 6 weeks we meet together on 3 weeks on a Sunday morning, and then another 3 weeks on Sunday morning and Sunday evening, and somewhere in there after that time have a Wednesday evening service where we join the two congregations together and have a service, and I'd like you to do that. And I'm going to invite former pastors to come." And I know that Dr. Hall came. He'd been our instructor and the dean of the Life Bible College. But another pastor that came was Gerald Staley, who had been my pastor in Denver and led me to Christ. I had no idea that he actually had pastored the church for several months, many years before, like 15 or 20 years before this. And it was not a good experience by all counts. But anyway, come on, he was mistreated, really. But Gerald Staley was there, and that was something to be a part of this kind of occurrence going on, and to have the pastor led me to Christ to be there and acknowledge that, talk about that to the folks, because I had him say a couple of words. In any event, that did take place, obviously. So that was the discussion, and we talked to our folks, our leaders, a couple of leaders that weren't happy with me leaving so soon, and things were going good. I don't blame them, but they really did come on board with, body, soul, spirit, heart, and mind. They came on board with it and really helped make that transition and the future for years beyond that happen. So that's how we went forward, and in that time there was. Before we began talking to people about it, there was a woman in the church, her name was Myrna, who came to me and says, "Pastor, I had a vision." I think she came up to me with Jane, another friend of ours, and because she actually had shared it with Jane, and Jane said, "You got to tell Pastor." So Myrna came up to me. They came up to me, and she said, "Here's the vision that I had. I had this vision. I don't understand it." I saw a body standing in front of me, but there was only flesh on half the body. And then flesh came from somewhere else. It just, and was added to it. But it was like a body with fully functioning flesh, but just half. And then the other half, and they join together. Do you have any idea what this means? And I said, well, I most certainly do, but I'm not going to tell you right now. In any event, I said, Myrna, this is really the Lord. God is showing you something that's in the spirit that is definitely of Him, and this is just even a further confirmation of that. But I'll make all clear here in a while because we had a certain procedure we wanted to follow as we did that. But however, can you believe that half a body, fully fleshed, and the other half comes in? What does it mean? So I have a good idea. It was something. It was something.